Hey guys, this is Razorblade Mango, and as I promised, I'm finally going to be pushing out my top 10 best and top 10 worst films of 2013 lists. And I know this has been a long time coming. I've finally seen all the films that I've wanted to see, and so let's get started. And I have a little special note to talk about with the 2000. I'm going to start with the worst of the year, because really I just want to get this out of the way. Because I don't like talking about bad movies. No matter how angry they make me, I do not like talking about them. I just want to get these out of the way. And then move on to the good stuff, which is a list I will have up by Thursday or Friday. Probably Thursday. But with these 10 films, this year I tried my very best to avoid bad movies. I did not see After Earth. I did not see R.I.P.D. I did not see Grown Ups 2. I did not see Movie 43. I did not see Inappropriate Comedy. I did not see quite a few of the movies that have been on most of the bottom 10 films lists of 2013. Because I just don't want to. And after last year, 2012, where I saw some horrible fucking stuff that I never want to go back to, it just made me mad. And I realized that life is way too short to go to a theater or sit down and watch something for 2 hours that just makes you mad, and it just makes you feel like you wasted your time, you wasted your money, wasted your air that you used to breathe. And it's just pointless to me to intentionally go to something you know is going to be bad and end up paying money for it or just wasting time on it. No, I didn't want to do that in 2013. I wanted to see all films that I genuinely had a desire to watch. So technically, all 10 of these movies are disappointments to me, because I came into all 10 of these with reasonable expectations. No matter how, I know some of the entries on these lists, you guys are going to go, really? You had expectations for that? Yes, I did. I had expectations for all of these. So let's get started. My number 10 film is Spike Lee's Old Boy. And what a disaster this was. Not only just was it a critical flop, it was a financial flop, it was a PR flop. It was just a disaster overall. It was probably a red flag warning right from the beginning that everybody, and I mean almost everybody on the internet and everyone that I talked to that knew this was coming out, had such a huge negative adamant attitude towards this movie. Because number one, it is a remake of a classic South Korean film, Old Boy. I love the original Old Boy. I think it's one of the best Asian films of all time. It's fucking fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, please go out and watch it. Don't watch this. Number two, there was this controversy bubbling up right around the time the film was released that an artist that apparently the studio had paid to design the posters for this movie, they stole his art and barely paid the poor guy, and used it to market the movie with. And when the guy found out that the studio had stolen his money, he was angry, upset, and he wrote an open letter to Spike Lee. And I read it multiple times, and it was very emotional, it was very well detailed, and I really felt sorry for the guy if his story is true. Which, given the shady business practices that Hollywood is known with, is probably true. But Spike Lee just went, I don't know this guy. I don't give a fuck about him. What the fuck do I care? So that had another strike against this movie. And number three, mainstream audiences don't really neither do they want to see a remake of Old Boy. They don't. People that haven't seen the original probably wouldn't want to see this in the first place because of its really gruesome content. And number four, I heard at least an hour and a half was cut from this movie. This is one of those times where a studio interfered with the original vision and cut it down to pieces. And even a legendary scene that is and I'm gonna say the hallway fight scene in this movie is not one shot. There's a cut, and it's very distracting, and it's very it doesn't fit the movie. Whereas in the original, it was a very nice demonstration of what this guy had learned, the shadow boxing that he had learned while he was in isolation for 15 years. And it just feels really out of place and odd in this movie. And I can go on and on and on about the certain things that this movie, how this movie doesn't even begin to hold a candle to the original. But there are some specific things that I do want to talk about very quickly in this. Number one, I didn't like how violent this movie was. Which is an odd thing to say, because Oldboy, the original Oldboy, the manga and the movie, are very violent, very gruesome, very explosive with its violence. But the violence in those movies, they had a reason behind them. They had emotion, they had passion. There was character development behind the violence. Here, it just feels like cheap shock value, where how they amp up the gore, they make changes to the villain's backstory that just doesn't really sit well with me. It feels very gruesome. It's just ugly. It's ugly without purpose. It's ugly without emotion. It's ugly without intrigue. And I hated how. Second thing, I hated how the changes to the villain. They made him into a cartoon villain. And Sharlto Copley, he already was a lame-ass villain in this year's Elysium. And then he's basically repeating the same performance here, just with a different accent. And he still sucks at it as well. Where this guy, he's such a talented actor. And, oh my god, he's really wasted in these villain roles. He's not a good... Either give him a good script, or the guy simply can't be a villain. He's just... It's goofy. I cannot take this guy seriously. And the last thing is, and not to get into spoilers, there's a sex scene in Oldboy. And the original one is very passionate. And it's not like a cheap sex scene just for nudity and shit. It was very passionate and very tragic in the original one. But in here, the sex is boring. Elizabeth Olsen, who gives a horrible, awful, boring performance. Josh Brolin, who seems just lost during the whole movie. Those two did not have a chemistry. I did not believe it for a second when those two started having sex. It just came out of nowhere. And it was like, what? And it had begun, and it was over with just as quickly as it began. It was just like, what? That didn't work. So, don't watch Spike Lee's Oldboy. Go out and watch the original South Korean version of Oldboy. You won't regret it. It's a fantastic movie. Alright, number 9. And this is a movie I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for. It's Man of Steel. This movie has been very divisive. And while I don't hate Man of Steel, I really didn't like it. It's not as painful, anywhere near as painful as Quest for Peace or 3. It doesn't have Richard Pryor skiing down the side of a building, which I was very thankful for. But it has its own very, very deep flaws. Where Zack Snyder, the guy's a shitty director. I hate the guy as a director. I think he doesn't have the maturity for it. He doesn't really know what he's doing. And especially after the bomb that was Sucker Punch, he's really just a director for hire these days. Where they fast-tracked this project. And part of the reason they did is because, one, they were going to lose the Superman license. 2, they were going to get sued if they weren't going to make a Superman movie. Because it's been 7 years since Superman Returns, and that wasn't a big success. And 3, they just wanted to make more money. This really just feels like a cheap cash grab that exploits the Superman fan base out there with this cut and paste script that was pretty much probably a leftover script from a version that the Dark Knight trilogy could have been, or at least Batman Begins. And it just feels like they just slapped this whole thing together without really any care. They just wanted to make it darker, make it edgier. No humor, no lightness, just no fun. I did not have fun watching this movie. I just felt uninterested and bored during the whole time. And without getting any spoilers, I have major problems with the last third of the movie. I think it makes the movie so, like, this movie is so realistic to a fault, where the collateral and this has been harped on before, the collateral damage in this movie is fucking insane, and it's mainly Superman's fault in the movie. And really, I did not care about Superman himself, whereas it's like you have to ask so many questions with this movie. It's like, why does he want to become Superman? Why does he care so much about Lois Lane? Why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do that? Why does he put on a red cape and go flying just to save people? I don't know. This movie doesn't take the time to answer any of those questions. It just gives this really stupid, like this thing where Russell Crowe comes in. Oh, do what you were born to do. Oh, okay. Kaboom! He just launches into the sky. That's pretty much all you get, and that's not satisfying. It's not interesting. It doesn't make. I don't give a shit if the guy puts on a red cape and has a giant S on his chest. Okay, this guy is not Superman to me, and I really like Henry Cavill. I think he's a very capable actor. And I was rooting for this movie to be good. Where, like, a lot of people were seeing the trailers, seeing the teasers, and going, "Oh my god, this is gonna be amazing!" And I just wasn't feeling it. And I was hoping I would be wrong. I was hoping I would walk out, like, in love with this movie, like I did when I saw Batman Begins and The Dark Knight years ago. Nope, didn't get that with this movie. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was just a hatchet job. Where the problem with this movie is it wants to have its cake and eat it too. Where I admire that Zack Snyder is trying to present Superman as having this existential crisis, where he is an alien stuck on this planet where he's a totally different species. He's not even human, but he's around all these people. He doesn't know how to control his powers, and that could be fascinating. But the fault in that area lies with the script, and that's where David Goyer comes in. What the fuck? What happened to this guy? What the fuck? After, like, Blade Trinity, this guy just went fucking bonkers. I mean, yes, he did half the script for Batman Begins, which I really like. I think he's a strong writer in that area. I don't know what the fuck happened to him with Man of Steel. This has got to be some of the most laughable, stupid dialogue I have ever heard. There's literally a point where the city where Superman and Lois Lane stand in front of this gigantic crater of death, and they kiss, and then he says something like, "You know, after the first kiss, it's all downhill, right?" Why did he say that? What was the point of saying that line? What did it contribute to this movie? It wasn't funny. It wasn't insightful. It just was like, what the fuck was that? It was nothing. So the problem lies there. It wants to be emotional. It wants to be an existential movie. It wants to deeply analyze Superman's personality. But it also wants to be that big blockbuster, blow shit up every 5 seconds kind of movie. And it's like these two ideologies just conflict with each other. And it ultimately just fails the whole movie. They never gel together to be something cool. It's just a big, stupid conflict of themes and tone during the whole movie. And it was just a boring mess. I really disliked this movie. And, oh my god, with every fucking decision being made right now for Superman versus Batman, oh my god, I have so little hope for the future of Warner Brothers live-action superhero movies. Oh my god, the future is so fucking bleak right now. Oh my god. Nolan, please come and direct a 4th Batman movie. Please bring Christian Bale back. Please do another one. Please. I don't want Zack Snyder and Goyer anywhere near these properties anymore. Get them away from Superman. Bring back Richard Donner. Bring back in the guy that directed Superman Returns, Bryan Singer. Superman Returns might not have been great, it might not have been good, but it was better than this. It at least examined Superman's mythology in a very intelligent and interesting way. Bring him back. He knows what he's doing more than fucking Zack Snyder knows how to do it. Alright, rant over. Number 8 is Danny Boyle's Trance. This was a movie that I've been looking forward to for quite some time because it seemed like a return to the crazy-ass exploitation roots of Danny Boyle. Stuff like Trainspotting and Shallow Grave and 28 Days Later. Just this really hyper-violent, crazy-ass movie. And oh my god, it was a boring, ugly, depressing mess. Where I actually really liked the first third of the movie. I thought it was intriguing, it was violent with purpose, and after that, it just went down fucking hill. And I'm gonna say this right now, if you guys are still interested in seeing this movie just because Rosario Dawson gets naked in it, I don't blame you, but she's only naked for like 5 seconds, guys. It's like 5 or 10 seconds, tops. And the rest of the time, it's just this stupid fucking movie. It is boring, it is shallow, it is depressing, it doesn't even have a sense of humor about itself. Something like this should have like at least a dark sense of comedy where this really crazy violent shit is happening and it's just not working. It takes itself way too seriously. It's depressing, and there's just this they literally have to explain the twist of the movie for 15 minutes. And it left me more confused than I did before they explained the twist. And it was just dumb once I had figured it all out. It was just so many plot holes. Like, why did she say this? Why didn't he say this? Why didn't this happen? Why didn't they do that? I mean, you could go on and on questioning this movie. It is dumb. It's a dumb script, dumb directing, dumb performances. Dumb in a bad way. Shame on you, Danny Boyle. Shame on you. You are a better director than this. Do something better next time. Alright, number 7 is A Good Day to Die Hard. And yes, I was looking forward to this movie. I have not, at least now, I was not sick of Die Hard. I really liked Live Free or Die Hard. I was excited to see where the series was going to go after that. Oh my god, what a fucking disaster this was. Wow. Holy shit. Part of the big problem with this movie is the script by Skip Woods. It's atrocious. It's one of the worst scripts I've ever heard. None of the jokes make any sense. They strip away everything that makes John McClane likable. It doesn't even feel like John McClane anymore. It just feels like Bruce Willis is playing an ugly American who hits people for not speaking English. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Has a shitty, annoying son who they just blah 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 blah. Dad, you were never there for me. Blah 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 blah. Shut up, son. Blah 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 blah. And they just argue and bitch at each other during the whole movie. And it drove me fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. The action scenes, tasteless, mindless, stupid violence, collateral damage fucking everywhere. John McClane, he doesn't care about human life in this movie. He literally crushes a car with somebody in it with a big ass truck. What? He drives on top of other cars with passengers in them in a chase sequence at the beginning. What the fuck is that bullshit? What the fuck? What is that? What is that? And what's his reasoning? Oh, I need to get my son. Oh, sorry, lady. I just crushed you and any other passengers you might have had in that car. But, oh well, I gotta save my son and blow up half of fucking Russia doing it. And, oh my god, you want to know the reason? Hey, you guys want to know the reason why Bruce Willis is doing all this during the goddamn movie? Because he's on vacation. And I'm not joking. He literally says that as a one-liner during the entire movie. I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation. Oh my god, I'm on vacation. I was on vacation. No, you were not. He was there to rescue his son, or at least to support him in some way from getting arrested and being put on trial. He was there because of that. He was not on there because he was on a fucking vacation. This screenwriter doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Nothing in this movie makes any sense. And get this, I am able to suspend my disbelief. Alright? I'm able to. Okay, but they take off their suits in Chernobyl and fight in Chernobyl with no gas mask, no protective clothing, nothing. Nothing. And what's the excuse? Oh, yeah, here's this device that cleans out the air. Okay. No. No. That is fucking stupid. No. Oh my god. And the last thing. Apparently Bruce Willis is a fucking Terminator now. Remember in the first movie? Remember in the first Die Hard when getting glass in his feet took him out for like half an hour in the movie? He was a man. He was mortal. I liked him when he was mortal. Not when he was a fucking Terminator. Not when he was indestructible. I guarantee you in whatever Die Hard 6.0 they're going to do next, someone's going to fire a rocket launcher at him and it's just going to bounce right back off of him. And he's going to go, oh, I have some cloak that allows me to deflect rocket launchers. I guarantee you that's what they're going to do for the 6th Die Hard movie. Which, please, God, do not do a 6th Die Hard movie. I know you want that money, Bruce Willis. Please, goddamn, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it. So, yeah, Bruce Willis, he can drop 50 stories. He can get thrown through a window, and he just brushes it off. Barely a scar on his face. Maybe has some dust, some dirt around his eyes. That's about it. That's about it. He's fine. He's fine. Because it's John McClane. And John McClane's a fucking Terminator now. Fuck. Fuck you, Skip Woods. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're a dick. Number 6. And this is a movie that I know you guys have heard me mention over and over and over again, especially in my animated stuff. It's Despicable Me 2. And now I'm finally going to tell you the reason why I absolutely I so immensely dislike this movie. Number 1, it's annoying. It's just straight up irritating. I find those I know these minions are like a cultural phenomenon now, which boggles my fucking mind. And they were cute in the first movie. They are way overexposed now in more ways than one. They're getting their own fucking movie, for Christ's sakes. Why? All they ever do is go, that's all they do. They just talk gibberish, slap each other, and do stupid shit that it's like gimmicky in 3D. That's all they do. They're just little shitheads. They're not funny, at least not anymore. They're irritating, and they just get on my nerves. I just find the whole movie just ridiculous. Even like without the minions, it's annoying. It's just annoying slapstick, annoying subplots, like irritating beyond belief characters. It was just unbelievably painful to sit through, at least during the first half. I will admit, the second half got a lot better. And not great or anything, not even good, but it got better. Which is why it's not higher on the list. But oh my god, that first half. Ugh. Good god. Oh, I'm actually going to have to relive this. Okay. I'm about to say something that I know is going to cause quite a bit of uproar if people are listening to this and they find it objectionable. This movie is racist. This is a racist piece of shit. I watched this movie with a friend who's Hispanic. He was getting angry during, like, because this movie makes fun of and stereotypes Spanish people in such a way It's ruthless. It doesn't shut up. It doesn't stop. It just keeps hammering you over the head. Hey, look! Aren't Spanish people funny? Don't they have funny little quirks about them? Oh, look at that! He has a sombrero! Look at that! He's a macho Mexican man! Oh, look at that! They do that during the entire fucking time of the first half of this movie, and even some parts in the second half, that I found massively irritating and, yeah, offensive. I found it offensive. I rarely ever get offended during a movie. There you go. I was offended by Despicable Me 2. Which, you know what? Fuck you if you go, oh, well, that's a little harsh. That you have no right to call this movie racist. I'm sorry. People these days, they go back and they look at the Disney movies, the old classic Disney movies like Lion King. They look at Pocahontas. They look at all these other Disney movies that are like, oh, it's racist. Oh my god, totally racist. Oh my god, it's offensive to white people. It's offensive to Native Americans. It's offensive to black people. It's offensive to Mexican people. And you know what? They have valid criticisms. They have valid points about stuff like The Lion King and Peter Pan and, oh my god, Song of the South and some of their other stuff that they've done. Dumbo, the Black Crows in Dumbo. Very valid points of harmful racial stereotyping. Why can't I do that with Despicable Me 2? Why? In my opinion, it amplifies that shit way more than Peter Pan, Dumbo, The Lion King, or any of those Disney movies combined. This is like one big spitball of racist bullshit. Seriously. And if you don't find anything offensive about it, that's fine. I have no problem with that. I have laughed at stereotyping myself, alright? When it's used well, it can be funny. But this is harmful. This is shameful. It's just there for a cheap laugh because they can't think of anything else to come up. They can't come up with anything else. They just gotta keep hitting the button. They gotta keep repeating that same joke over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because Illumination Entertainment are greedy fucks. Oh yeah. All they know how to do is make minions. Look at the other two movies they've done that haven't been Despicable Me 2. Or just Despicable Me. They did Hop and they did The Lorax. Both are shit. And if you watch those two again, which I will not subject you to that. I won't subject any loved one to those movies. They have minions in them as well. I remember in Hop, it was like these little yellow ducks or chickens. They were the minions of those movies. They were meant to be like cute and quirky and just gibberish talking. Look at Lorax, the little bears. They're supposed to be the minions in those movies. All Illumination Entertainment knows how to do is make minions and grab all the money they can because we're in this cultural phenomenon right now of the minions. And they're good at it. I will admit that. They are good. They are a great business company. They are a shitty ass animation studio. Because it's just there for the money. They genuinely don't care about their products. They're just there to make a buck. They're the anti-Studio Ghibli. They're the anti-Pixar. They're hacks. They're like Blue Sky. They're hacks. Oh my god. And another thing that I absolutely I cannot stand about this company, oh my god, is that now they've bought up all the Dr. Seuss license. We're gonna get another Cat in the Hat movie from these guys. I guarantee you we're gonna have Thing 1, Thing 2, Thing 3, Thing 5,000 minions in those fucking movies. If they decide to do Cat in the Hat and Cat in the Hat comes back, we're gonna have more of those fucking movies. They're gonna make a Happy Birthday to You movie. My all-time favorite Dr. Seuss book. They're gonna have that. They're gonna have the bird. They're gonna have minions in that movie. They're gonna make stupid ass fart jokes in that movie. We are in the middle. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, oh, the future with those guys and with that have the Dr. Seuss license. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. It's nightmarish to think about. It's really just it's painful. And Despicable Me 2. This is the first movie in quite some time. There's another movie on this list that I almost did this with. This is one of those movies, one of those very rare movies that I seriously considered walking out of. Like, literally, I almost threw up my hands and said, fuck this. I wanted to run out of that theater and not fucking look back. But I stuck through it because while this might not be my job, I have pride in what I do. And I stuck around, I braved it out, and I got through it okay. You know, because I will admit, the second half gets better. Not great, but it gets better. So, and this movie made, oh my god, how much did it make? 900K? Did it almost $1 billion? Oh my god, we're gonna get Despicable Me 3, Despicable Me 4, we're getting that Minions spinoff, probably gonna get another Minions spinoff, we're gonna get a spinoff of other spinoffs, and it's just gonna be this gigantic empire of annoying cuteness. This kind of entertainment is the cinematic equivalency of dangling your keys in front of your car keys in front of a baby and going ooh gaga, look at the pretty keys, look at the keys, look at how they jingle, woo! And the baby doesn't know any better, and the baby just goes, ah, oh my god, it's a key, ah! And he's entertained by that because he's fucking stupid and he doesn't know any better. That's pretty much that's the mindset of this studio. The mindset of Illumination Entertainment. You guys are babies. We're gonna dangle our keys in front of you. Shut the fuck up and give us your money because we're fucking cute. It's what they are. And I know, sorry, I've almost spent 10 minutes talking about this one movie, but oh my god, I hate it. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. Fuck it. Ugh. Alright. Number 5. This is a movie I won't dwell on very much. Elysium. Straight up, it's a lame message movie. And which is very disappointing considering I really liked District 9. Yes, that was a message movie as well, but that had its message more in the background, whereas the great character development, the great action, the great storytelling, that was all in the front. And I could enjoy all of that and see the message like all the time. I could tolerate it then. But when you don't have the great characters, you don't have the great acting, especially Sharlto Copley, like I said, again, doing a stupid-ass villain role, you don't have the great action. Action, this has got to be some of the worst action I've ever seen. The camera, it's that annoying, motion-sickening, shaky cam bullshit that I fucking can't stand. It gave me a fucking headache. I had to close my eyes during the action scenes because I was getting a fucking headache from this movie. It was fucking torture to get. Those were torture to get through. And its message is in the forefront, where it's all about America's the 99%. It's all about the 1%. It's all about America's healthcare. It's all about our immigration system, and oh my god! Like I said, it just pushing that one button, just hammering, making it sledgehammer, and just bashing your fucking brains out with this message of, oh my god, look how bad America is. Look at their immigration system. Look at their healthcare system. Look at how they're treating the 99%. Yeah, we get it, okay? You don't like America, you don't like our policies. And you know what? I agree with you. But don't fucking beat me over the head with it when I'm trying to enjoy a science fiction movie, okay? Stop. Stop it. Either don't have a message in it or tone that shit down to where it's like a minimal fraction of what's going on, okay? Stop it. Stop assaulting me with your message. I fucking get it. Okay? I get it. And I literally wrote an essay about how bad this movie was and how stupid I think its message, how its social commentary is. I literally wrote an essay about it in class. And it got me an A+, which I was very happy about. So yeah, it was just irritating. I found its entire logic, it just grinds my gears. It really just pisses me off how, and I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil the ending. So well, not the ending, but I'm going to spoil a key part of this movie that they're not showing you in the trailers. If you haven't already seen it, they have this thing, and it's one of my biggest problems with 2012's Looper, which I think is a much better movie. But that had a big problem with it. That's the exact same problem with this movie, and I hate it. I can't fucking stand it when these really dark, violent science fiction movies always have to go for the cheap emotional sentiment where they have to bring in a kid. They always have to bring in a little kid that's in peril, or a little kid that tries to bring out the humanity in the main character and tries to make his sacrifice more noble. Alright, okay, a kid. Whoopee. An annoying, stupid, bratty kid that is just so cutesy-wootsy that it's just irritating. Why? You have people blowing up into smithereens. You have brain chunks flying everywhere. You have people being disemboweled. You have people getting limbs snapped off. Why do you have to include cheap sentimentality with these fucking kids? These kids ruin the movie. Stop it. Stop putting kids in adult science fiction. It's annoying. It's a trend that I wish will just go away. Stop that. So, his next project, Neil Blomkamp's next project, sounds interesting. It's about a robot. It's more of a comedy, which I'm really happy about. Just please, this guy, he needs to be subtle. Where I complained about The Wind Rises being too subtle, you know what? I would take that over a movie being way too obvious. Alright? Because this movie, you'd have to be a fucking moron to not see the messages behind this movie. Because it's right there! Every frame! Right there! America's policies suck balls. There you go. I just saved you 2 hours watching this movie. That's what the movie wants you to know. America's policies suck donkey dick. There. There you go. Alright. Number 4. Probably the most boring film of the year. Ender's Game. Oh my god. Yikes. Some part of me still believes that my life is now currently a dream and I'm still fast asleep in that fucking theater while this shitty fucking boring movie is still playing. Oh my god, was this movie boring. Ugh. It commits the cardinal sin of cinema. It's boring. It's not interesting. It does a really shitty job of introducing people, like well, I read the book, and I still don't know what the fuck was going on in this movie. I was so confused. Everything that's, like, poignant and interesting in the book, they just speed through that shit. They get through, like, this movie's not even 2 hours long. People give Lord of the Rings Return of the King shit for being way too long. You know what? That took its time. That brought the movie to a close in a satisfying way. This is just like, oh, we're going from like one event to the next at like light speed with no emotional resonance, no character development, barely anything to care about, and it's just boring. I didn't care. I didn't care about Ender. I didn't care about his sister. I didn't care about any of the commanders around him. I didn't care about any of the friends he made in the academy. I did not care. Didn't care. And it just sucked to watch this movie. It sucked to be that one guy where a lot of friends that I have were like, oh my god, it's the Ender's Game movie. And then they come out and they're like, oh, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I have to be that one guy that's like, I thought it sucked. And I hate being that one guy. But you know what? I'm not going to lie. Alright? I thought it sucked. And I was just bored to death. I literally almost fell asleep during this movie. It fucking... Ugh, it was so boring. So boring. And this movie bombed. It was kind of a financial flop, sort of. So hopefully Either they don't go on with this series, which I'm hoping they don't. I hope this just becomes another movie like The Golden Compass, or Arthur and the Invisibles, or The Seeker, or Aragon, or any of those movies based on teen novels that come out that are trying to make a fast buck, are trying to make off with the money, like the Harry Potter crowd and the Twilight crowd and the Hunger Games crowd and the Lord of the Rings crowd, that fail. This will probably end up being another one of those movies that just comes out, fails, and people don't really care about it anymore. People just go, what the fuck ever. It just becomes another Golden Compass. Where they want to make a sequel, and they are sequel baiting at the end of this movie. They change the ending of the book. They remove an entire important subplot in the book just to sequel bait in this movie. And oh my god. It was stupid. I'm sorry. It was fucking heinous. Please stop sequel baiting. Please stop assuming that your movie is going to be a big success and more people want to see it. Have an arc and close it. Do that, then come talk to me about a sequel. Don't assume I want a sequel. I don't want a sequel for Ender's Game if these are going to be the same people involved. I don't want that Asa Butterfield kid. I think he's terrible. I don't want Gavin Hood behind the movie anymore because I thought he's a terrible writer. I don't want any of these. I just don't want anybody from this movie, except maybe Harrison Ford and Ben Kingsley back for the second movie. If they're going to do one, which they're not. So, R.I.P. fucking Ender's Game series. You took a shot and you fucking missed by 1,000 fucking miles. Good goddamn job. Alright. Number 3 is Kick-Ass 2. You know how I said that Trance and Man of Steel and Good Day Die Hard and Old Boy and Elysium were all depressing without being fun? Well, this is the exact opposite. It's trying to be fun. It's trying to have a dark sense of humor about it. And it's still one of the most depressing things I've ever seen in my life. I gotta tell you a personal story. The day that this movie came out, I was planning on going to see it. But, life as it is, I had a really big personal loss that morning that I was going to go see it. And I was very tempted to go watch it because I needed to get my mind off of what happened. I needed something to make me laugh. And I ultimately decided not to because I was just, I didn't feel like driving to a theater. I just wanted to stay home. And you know what? I'm glad I did. I'm so fucking happy that I did, because if I had seen this movie the day that I had lost one of my best friends, I would have probably killed myself. I am, as melodramatic as this sounds, I probably would have killed myself. Legitimately contemplated suicide if I had seen this movie that day, because this movie is disgusting. It's offensively evil. It's just, I don't know what happened. And part of the problem is probably that I don't know who this director is. I think he's the guy, I know he's the guy that did Cry Wolf, which is a really terrible movie. What Matthew Vaughn brought to the first movie was he found a way to balance the really dark elements of the movie and the comedy. He found that note just right, and he plucked it just right for it to resonate with a lot of people because it wasn't ugly. It was dark, it was violent, it could be very cruel at times, but it was still funny, and it was still entertaining, and I can't really explain how he pulled that off, but he did. And then you go to this movie, where this director doesn't know how to tell a joke. Especially in a movie where probably the South Park guys could get away with. There's very few people that can get away with a rape joke. Very very few people that can do that. Very few. And you have to be goddamn insightful and talented to do that. And this guy can't write a joke worth a shit. And he tries to write in a masturbation joke. And it's probably the most disturbing thing I've seen this decade at the movie. I thought 12 Years a Slave was disturbing. Oh no. That was a walk in the park compared to the home invasion scene in Kick-Ass 2. Where that just drove me over the fucking edge. I was so upset and so angry that I literally had to pause the movie and like cool down for like 10 minutes. That didn't help either, because what's the next scene? One of the villains like gleefully massacring about 12 cops in the most creative ways imaginable, and they play that whole thing off for laughs. And it just wasn't funny. It was depressing. It was tasteless, fucking vulgar humor. Which is a real shame, because like Trance, I really liked the beginning of this movie. I really, even with all that stupid high school crap that Kid Girl is doing in this movie, I really liked the beginning. And I was thinking to myself, wow, you know what? This could actually be better than the first movie. And then, once that scene comes up where, and I'm just going to say it, it's a scene where the motherfucker goes to Kick-Ass's girlfriend's house to beat her and rape her. And at the point where he's about to start raping her, he can't get an erection. So, as a joke, he starts jerking off to get an erection so he can rape this girl. And why? It's not funny. It just comes out of nowhere. And right when I saw that scene, all the goodwill I had towards this movie took a big plummet. It was like going on a ride at Six Flags, where you just up and up and up, and then just boom, it just shot straight down. And it never fully recovered from that. And I'm not saying that one scene is why I hate like a good portion of this movie. That scene began a long stretch where this movie just collapsed on itself. It was like Eeyore's house, where once you're building something, a wind comes along or Pooh Bear comes along and knocks the whole fucking thing down. That's this movie. It starts out so well. And then after one scene, it isn't even the rape scene, one scene before that I thought was just odd and off-putting, it just collapsed. And it never recovers from it. And it just becomes this stupid bullshit movie that is way too dark and way too goofy when it needs to be dark. Doesn't make any sense by the end. It's just stupid. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna spoil it. If you really don't want Kick-Ass 2 spoiled for you, just stop. Because I'm gonna start spoiling it. I need to go on a little mini rant about this. Okay. During the whole movie, we're hyped up that Hit Girl has this special serum. This is a key example of the laziness behind this movie. Where Hit Girl has this syringe that she has, and she's like, oh, it's a secret. Oh, it's a secret weapon. Oh, I'm never going to use that unless it's a really, really serious emergency. Never going to use it. And when she it's like hyping during the whole movie. It's this like amazing thing. And then when she finally uses it, what is it? It's adrenaline. All that hype for adrenaline. Fucking adrenaline. And I'm sorry, I know adrenaline amps up the body activity by 1,000. But it does not give Hit Girl the ability to move like goddamn Flash, where she's beating the shit out of Mother Russia beating her ass, like stabbing her over and over again at like lightning speed. And if this movie wants to be a superhero movie set in the real world, this is another thing it doesn't want to do. It wants to, like I said, it wants to have its cake, it wants to eat it too. It wants to be a serious movie, it wants to show the consequences of being a superhero out in the real world, but then it becomes a fucking cartoon at the end of the movie where it wants to be the stupid shit again, where it wants to go, oh, look at me, I'm a cartoon, oh, I'm gonna go around and shoot people, look at me, oh, look at all that blood, oh, look at me, oh, it's a cartoon. It just becomes a fucking stupid cartoon at the end of the goddamn movie, and it becomes fucking horrible, stupid fucking movie. And I hated it. I hated it by the end. It was a terrible movie. It just made me mad. It made me fucking angry. And I had hope for this movie. I have fond memories of the first film. I really like it. I think it's one of the better superhero movies out there. This movie just took a big, it just dropped its pants, pulled its ass cheeks out, fucking squatted over the first movie and shat all over it. And then rubbed the feces in its face and just fucking ruined it. This movie was so bad. I'm like, I need to rewatch the first Kick-Ass immediately. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna go watch Kick-Ass again. Because I need the good memories of Kick-Ass and Hit Girl back in my mind. I need to put Kick-Ass 2 out of my mind. I fucking... Ugh. Fuck that movie. Seriously. Fuck Kick-Ass 2. And fuck you for wasting Jim Carrey's role. He was the best part of the movie, and he's killed off before, like, the second third even rolls around. And, ugh. Fuck you. Number 2 is The Purge. And this is another love it or hate it movie. And oh boy, did this movie stink. Where I thought the idea behind this movie was really cool and very interesting. And I was really intrigued to see what kind of mythos they would bring to this idea of America having a 12-hour purge like annually. And unfortunately, this is another movie where a cool idea is ruined by an absolutely terrible script. This script is god awful, where these characters do... If you made a drinking game out of this movie where you had to take a shot every time someone did or said something stupid and made no fucking sense, you would die. You'd be dead after 30 minutes. And nothing about this movie makes any sense. There's like thousands of plot holes in this movie. Like, the logic behind the characters, the logic behind the purge that they describe is stupid. Makes no sense. And I actually had to come home after this movie. I like sat down in front of my computer and I actually wrote in a Word document. I wish I had saved this Word document so I could have made another video for this. I wish I had, but oh my god, nothing about this movie makes any sense. Like, with The Purge. Okay, so The Purge is done annually, okay? Why the fuck? There's no way America would be able to rebuild itself after this purge, alright? With the amount of physical, mental, psychological damage done to the citizens and the city, it would kill the economy. It would send the economy down the crapper. It would just be an obsolete fucking thing. It does not work. And apparently, like, crime rate is down. What about crime of passion? What about somebody that catches their girlfriend fucking another guy? They shoot the guy. So apparently the purge didn't cure that. What about organized terrorist attacks? So people are okay. So people, they're like, oh well, the purge was yesterday. Oh, so I guess we're gonna have to wait another 364 days before we carry out this master plan of blowing up the city. Oh well. Let's go be on our way. No, that doesn't make any sense. And also, the best part, why is everybody going out and killing each other? You know what? Why aren't more people sheltered in their homes? People don't... There's no way, no fucking way in hell that most of America could go out one night, kill everybody, and the suicide rate of guilt and anguish and mental scarring, again, would send the economy down the crapper. Somebody accidentally shoots someone, and then the purge ends, oh, they kill themselves. So you gotta clean that up, you gotta take care of that, you gotta deal with mental scarring, you gotta deal with psychological problems, you gotta deal with emotional problems, you gotta deal with surgery. People are injured during this thing. People have their limbs chopped off. Hospitals would be overrun with victims of the purge. Not just dead ones, innocent people. Like innocent, injured people. What sense does this purge make? And what answers do they give in this movie? Nothing. In fact, the only explanations they give just causes more confusion and raises more questions. It's a stupid fucking logic. Stupid. And don't even get me started about the family in this movie, especially the children. The children are so fucking stupid, especially the little kid. I'm sick. Why? I don't want little kids in these movies. They ruin everything. They're dumb. They don't know any better. They're dumb as fuck. Stop having them in these kinds of movies. No one wants a stupid kid in a horror movie. And this kid might be the dumbest horror movie kid I have ever seen. I wanted this kid to die. I wanted the villain of the movie to come up and like fucking shoot him or something. I hated this kid. And I normally don't wish death upon a small child. I wish death upon this little kid during the whole movie. And I didn't get it. And that pissed me off. And, the villain of this movie, I hated him too. A lot of people are saying, oh my god, I thought the movie was stupid, but I thought the villain was great. No, he wasn't. He was just some stupid, talentless jackass that wanted to do a really bad Joker imitation. I literally think, I wouldn't be surprised if this actor had actually come to the director, like the day, the filming of his scene, and been like, oh, well, you know, we're on a micro budget, so, and this movie is kind of crazy, so can I do my Joker imitation for this movie? Can I be the Joker for this movie? And the director just went, yeah, sure, fuck it. Why not? Oh, okay, I'm gonna go be the Joker. I'm the Joker! During the whole movie. And he's just this goofy asshole that, oh my god, laughable villain. I cannot take this guy seriously. Of course, he's got to do the Joker thing where he shoots his own henchman, which makes no sense, by the way, because, it's this brilliant scene where he shoots one of his own henchmen for talking out of turn, and then goes, that was my best friend that I just killed. Imagine what I'll do to you. Idiot fucking logic. Oh, he's a preppy. That explains everything. He's a racist preppy. Oh, wow. Thanks. Yeah, okay. And then he does the thing. I wish to God you could see like what I'm doing. He has this smile on his face that's like during the whole movie. Even during the bad parts, he has this goofy ass grin on his face. It's like the Joker Venom, where it's like ear to ear grin, like, oh, look at me, I'm the villain of this movie. Look at me. And it's just, I hated looking at his face. His face annoyed me. I just wanted someone to like take a sledgehammer and just smash his face in, because it annoyed me. Stupid movie. And they're doing a second one? Not even a year after this movie came out, they're already doing a second one. This is going to be the new Saw. You watch. It's a micro-budget movie that people flock to because it is legitimately a cool idea. That doesn't explain shit. It's fucking stupid. And this Purge Anarchy. It looks just as stupid as the original one. Oh my god, we're in the midst of another Saw. It's just gonna go off the rails. We're gonna have a Purge, worldwide Purge pretty soon movie. The whole world is killing each other. And they don't explain why, they don't explain what happens after. I would like to see a movie where it's after the Purge. It's like the next 12 hours after the Purge ends. Maybe then we'll get some of the answers we'll seek for the stupid fucking logic that this movie brings up. Yay. Whoopee. Good for you. It's another horror movie that... See, I don't like horror movies. I don't like most horror movies. But 2013 was a good year for horror movies. Really good year. One of the best I've ever seen. Maybe the best. And this movie was just... Ugh. It was that reminder that there's still plenty of bullshit out there in the genre. Plenty of bullshit that still needs to be swept up. Alright. And my number one, my most disliked movie of 2013. And it's one that's probably going to piss off the fan base of this guy. And that would be Terrence Malick's To the Wonder. And I can already see the dislikes from my video just rise up just at the mention of this guy's name. Yes, a Terrence Malick film is my most disliked film of the year. Alright? Did you see To the Wonder? Not with your not with those, oh, I love Terrence Malick, oh, I'll suck his dick all day and night glasses that you have on. Did you legitimately see To the Wonder for the piece of shit that it was? Seriously? Twirling. This whole movie was nothing but staring, scenic vistas, more staring, and twirling. And more twirling. And even more twirling. Did I mention twirling? Oh yeah. Because Olga Kurylenko's character apparently can't express herself beyond spinning more than the goddamn Tasmanian devil. This movie was just... And it's a word I've been using a lot during this video. This movie was stupid. I don't know what the hell Terrence Malick was thinking during this movie. He wants to do this big, grand statement about, oh, it's love. Look at all love in the air. Look at love. Let's look at love in different forms. Love, love, love. The only love I got out of this movie is the love of finally seeing the end credits. Alright? No, I don't care about... This was a good year for examining relationships in movies. Good year. My favorite movie of 2013 is a deep examination of romance. Alright? And love. Actually, yeah. I have two movies. I have my favorite movie of the year and my least favorite movie of the year. Both examine love. Both examines love. One does it in a very intelligent and inspired way. The other does it in the most shoddy, amateurish, stupid, sloppy, lazy way imaginable. It's just Terrence Malick going out and filming scenery, filming Olga Kurylenko twirl, filming Ben Affleck staring off into space, and then editing all that shit together to create this giant shit bomb that says nothing, does nothing, is nothing. It's useless. Useless waste of film. And I don't hate Terrence Malick, okay? I am always rooting for this guy to succeed. I'm starting to really dislike this guy. Especially after his last three movies that he's done. I did not like The New World. Really didn't like Tree of Life. Blasphemy! I know! Someone didn't like The Tree of Life? No! I didn't like The Tree of Life. It's gorgeous! Best cinematography I've ever seen. Bored me to death. Same thing with this movie. It's gorgeous to look at. But it's boring as fuck! It is so boring. B-O-R-I-N-G. Boring. And this guy, I really like Days of Heaven. I think Thin Red Line is one of the best war movies ever made. I need to rewatch Badlands one of these days. And I'm even looking forward to his future projects that he's doing. The ones he's got lined up, that's about the Austin Film Festival, the one he's got about Christian Bale in the movie business, the one he's got with Brad Pitt and Emma Thompson narrating about the origins of Earth and life. Those all sound interesting, but oh my god, stop! I do not... He's been making the same movie over and over and over again since Thin Red Line, and they've just been getting worse. This guy is a hack. He's starting to become a hack. He's repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And I want this guy to succeed. I want to like Terrence Malick. I can't. I can't like him now. He's starting to make crap like To the Wonder. Ugh. God, stop. Please. And I'm really getting sick of Terrence Malick's attitude towards actors. Where Terrence Malick is just like, oh, they're props. They're just props for me to film and stare at. You know what? Actors can contribute a lot to a movie. I actually heard, I am starting to hate this like the legendary quirk of his, where he takes his sweet goddamn time with these movies and cuts out all of these actors that put their hard work into his movies, and he just cuts them out. He gets fucking half of Hollywood in his movies, and then he cuts half of them or 3/4 of them out. He was supposed to have Martin Sheen, Jessica Chastain, and Rachel Weisz in this movie. Where were they? Rachel Weisz's character, she was supposed to be an important factor in the movie. She was supposed to be a friend of Ben Affleck's, where they would have conversations about what's going on. Talk in these movies. I don't want to hear Olga Kurylenko's subconscious thoughts. I don't want to hear in Italian, oh, I'm my own experiment. I am this. Oh, look at me, artsy dialogue in another language. I don't want to see that. I want to see talking. I want these people to discuss their problems. Even if the dream-like cinematography is still there, that would make it better. That would make it interesting. Have scenes of Rachel Weisz and Ben Affleck talking. Not Olga Kurylenko spinning. And she, I hate this actor so much. She is so bad in this movie. Her character is one of the most disgusting female characters I've ever seen in a movie. I wanted this bitch to die during the whole movie. I wanted to punch her in the face. And I'm not encouraging abuse towards women, but I hated her so much in this movie. Absolutely just despised her character. I wanted her to die by the end of this movie. And there you go. Terrence Malick's To the Wonder, my most hated movie of the year. It's just, that was I'm glad I got all that out. I don't need to think about these movies anymore. And now I'm going to go have a drink of water, because my throat is very sore right now from yelling. But you know what? I know you guys like hearing me yell and freak out. And if you guys enjoy it, then it was totally worth it. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. If you agree with my list, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with my stuff. Just leave it in the comments. Constructive comments, please. I don't want any trolls. There's no point in putting up troll comments. I'm just gonna report you guys. I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna block you guys. All right? Because I'm not. If you want to come at me like I disagree with you, these are the reasons why I dislike this movie, or even saying, you know, you were a little too harsh on this movie because of this. That's fine. I don't mind. But I don't want people coming on this and be like, you suck balls. You don't like Terrence Malick? You're a fucking asshole. I hope you fucking die because you hated Man of Steel. You hated To the Wonder. You hated Elysium. Well, fuck you. What the fuck do you know about movies? If you guys have that mindset of being the 13-year-old fanboys, then don't bother. Don't bother commenting. Just dislike it and be on your merry way. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching. And this will probably be the most lengthy video I have. Maybe. Alright, guys. And as always, have a good one.